Hey, good morning, boys and girls. It is time for us to get ready to start our classroom time again. Well, classroom in Miss McGuire's garage, if you want to call it that. I hope that you had a wonderful Easter and you were able to have fun with your family and friends. And so it's time for us to get back to learning. It's always good to learn something new. So let's start like we always do by the pledge and doing the date. If you look back here, today is Tuesday, April 14. A 1 and a 4. That's how we write 14. All right, so let's stand up. I have the American flag right behind me, so let's stand together and say it. Let's pledge to the American flag. I know you can't see me, but hopefully you can hear me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you so much. You can have a seat wherever you are, and our poem today is about what else? Spring. We've got the birds singing, the sun is shining, it's a great morning, and so that's what our poem is. It says, "The soldier moss stood up to say, I saw a robin yesterday, and just in case you didn't know, she said that there will be no more snow. The crocus, being rather shy, turned her face up to the sky, with petals opening one by one beneath God's shining yellow sun. The sparrow tossed a song my way. His singing simply made my day. The warming earth, a lovely thing. It's God whispering, hello, it's spring." So, all the different signs of spring. Flowers are blooming, birds are singing, the sun is shining and it's getting warmer. So, all those different ways God is saying to us, it's springtime. So, all right. Well, you know, we talked a lot about in Bible about Jesus' disciples. We learned about some of them, the brothers, James and John and Peter and Andrew. We learned about Matthew, who was a tax collector. We also learned about Judas Iscariot, the one disciple that really wasn't a true friend of Jesus. He's the one that betrayed him. And so we learned about some of his disciples. We learned about some of the miracles that Jesus did. But this week I want us to focus on and learn a prayer. The disciples would see Jesus praying. A lot of times Jesus would go off by himself and pray, and they would watch him, and so they said, Jesus, teach us how to pray. And so Jesus taught them. He said, when you pray, say these words. And so we're going to learn what's called the Lord's Prayer. We're going to break it down into little parts. We're going to learn a little bit each day, just like we did when we learned the 23rd Psalm and when we learned our other Bible verses. We're kind of going to do the same thing with that. And you may already know the Lord's Prayer, and that's great. I'm so glad that you do. But for those of us and the ones that haven't learned it, let's take it little by little and learn each day part of the Lord's Prayer. So I have a book, and it's called the Lord's Prayer, and so we're going to start each day. So this, we're just going to learn the very first part, and it says, Our Father, which art in heaven. And that just means that our Heavenly Father, God, is in heaven. He made you. He loves you. The next part is, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed. That's a big word. And that means that we should honor God's name. Hallowed be thy name. How special, how important is your name, God? And we want to treat it with honor and respect. Kind of like when were learning the 10 Commandments about how we would not take God's name in vain. Hallowed be thy name. So can you say those two parts with me? Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. How special your name is, God. That's all we're going to do for today. We're just going to take it little pieces by little pieces. Each day we'll go back and review and add a little bit more to it. And by the end of the week, hopefully we'll have the whole thing learned. So that's what I want us to work on this week in Bible, the Lord's Prayer. All right. Boys and girls, we're going to learn about putting letter sounds together. We're going to kind of pick up where we left off back before spring break. We learned about SH and how it said shh. And we learned about CH when it said ch, ch. And then we also learned about TH, th, like think, and your thumb, TH sound. Today, I want us to put two new letters together, P and R, P, R, P, R. But when you put them together, they make one new sound. They say pr, pr. And so I've put some words on the board. I hope that you can see them. And while we're going over those words, we're also going to be reviewing how those sounds are made, how the other letters work together to make a word. When we put all the sounds together, all the things that we've learned, we make words, and then that helps us to be able to read the words. So let's look at the first word right here behind me. P-R, pr, and then A-Y. Do you remember how we learned that sometimes the letter Y is used as a vowel? We learned that Y says ya, like in yellow and yes. But we also learned that sometimes the letter Y can be used as a vowel. It would make an I sound, like shy and try. Well, in this word, A-Y are together. So remember when we talked about when two vowels are together, the second one is silent. It doesn't say its sound, and it lets the first vowel say its name. So this is the word pr, and then long A sound. A, pr, A. Pray, pray. That's just what we got done talking about, isn't it? How Jesus taught the disciples how to pray, pray. All right, let's look at the next word. We have two vowels together, A and I. So I is quiet, and it lets A say its long sound, A. All right, so we have P-R in front of it, pray, and then S-E, praise, praise. When we sing, when we pray, all that is a form of praise to God. And he loves it. He loves to hear his children praise his name. All right, so that's the word praise, praise. Sometimes I'm sure when you're at home and you do something really good, or you come home with a star or sticker on your page, your mom and dad might praise you and tell you, good job, good job. That's always nice to hear, praise. All right, let's look at the next word. This is a bigger word. It starts out with PR, so it's going to say pr, and this is the word promise, promise. Have you ever made a promise to somebody? Did you keep your promise? Sometimes it's not easy. We make promises, and it's not always easy to keep them. But we know that God always keeps his promise, doesn't he? He made many promises that he's with us, he watches over us. Remember the promise that he made to the children of Israel when they left Egypt, that he would watch over them and took care of them. A promise God always keeps his promise. And we need to do our best whenever we make a promise to try and keep that. All right, let's go on to the next word. It has a silent or that bossy E on it. Do you see? P-R-I-C-E. All right, so the E is silent. We don't hear it, so I'm going to put an X through it. But it makes the I say it's long sound. I. So let's see. P-R, I-S, price. That's the price tells you how much something costs. Whenever you go to the store, when mom goes to the store, or dad, they check the price on how much something is. The price. All right. Oh, this is a fun word. This E-E, pretend. Pretend. Do you like to play pretend? Dress up, pretend that you're a superhero, or pretend that you're a fireman, or the girls might pretend that they're a doctor or a nurse or a veterinarian. Pretend. It's fun to pretend. So, all right, we just got done talking about this, one of these right here. Here's PR, and then look over here, PH. You're going to learn, and I'll share with you today, but when you get a little bit older, you're going to learn that PH, when those two letters are together, it's something funny. It makes the F sound. F. Don't ask me why. It just happens that way. In our English language, sometimes we don't always use letters the way that we think that they should be. And this is a good example of that. When P and F are together, it makes the F sound. So this is the word prophet. Prophet. Who was the prophet that took the children of Israel out of Egypt? Do you remember? Moses, that's right. And we also learned about some other prophets, didn't we, when we were in school? We learned about Elijah, and remember the competition he had between God and the prophets of Baal, and how he teased them, and God sent down fire. He was a prophet. And then we also talked about the prophet Elisha. There was Elijah and Elisha. Those were all prophets. Prophets. All right, just a couple of more. Oh, this is everyone's favorite. Silent E, doesn't make any sound. I says it's a long sound. And there's PR saying eyes, prize. Oh, it's fun to win a prize, isn't it? Or to get a prize. Or remember when we got to go to the treasure box and you got to pick a prize out of the treasure box. So prize. All right. Oh, and I bet some of the girls, when they would pretend to be one of these. A princess. A princess. Also, boys and girls, look at this. It ends with SS. Now, remember when we learned that if you have two letters that are exactly the same, it makes one sound. So this is a princess, not princess, just one S sound, princess. All right, I'm going to go back over and we're going to say the words. You can say them with me. So we have pray and praise, promise, price, pretend, prophet, prize, princess. And I bet you could probably think of some more PR words, like, well, not a princess, but what? A prince. Or what we always do at school, we practice our letters and our sounds, our reading. We practice counting. Some of you boys and girls, you're not getting to play t-ball or baseball or softball or soccer, but you would always have what? practice before your game. Practice. So there's a lot of other PR words, and you could probably think of some. So that's what I want us to, our phonics, I want us to work on today. We're going to learn a new sound. Just add to it. And so you'll learn more and more sounds so that you'll be ready whenever you get to kindergarten. You'll see PR and you'll say, I know what that means. I know how that sounds. It says pr. Or I know what SH says. SH says sh. So we're just going to keep learning and learning each day. What I thought we could do, I know most of you, or you all got your your little tote, and inside I had your reading books. And Addie, if you're watching, Miss McGuire's going to take yours to the mail today. I've got it in a box and I'll get it sent out to you. But I thought what we could do this week is, starting this week, we could read our books together. And so before we get to our book, we're going to start the book tomorrow. But what I'd like for us to do today, that we're going to work on the book. Everybody has this one, Tess and Bess. They're about it's a story about two sisters. So what I thought we would do today is, if you have your book, or if you don't have it right now, you can get it later. We would go over, in our books, there's the box that has all of the new words in it. So those words are hard to see. So I put our words on a board. I'm going to move this back so that you can see them, and we'll go over them together. And then tomorrow we'll start reading the book, and you can read with me. We're only going to do, just like the Lord's Prayer, we'll just do a couple of pages a day, just like we would be in school and we would have our reading group time. You know how we wouldn't read a whole book at one time. We would break it up into different pages. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the book Tess and Bess this week. And so let's start with our words that would be in the reading box. So the first one is one of our characters, Bess. E says and there's that double S again, Bess. Not Bess, just Bess. All right, here's our next word, Pig. All right, I's going to make its short sound. There's only one vowel in that word, so we know that it makes it short sound. What's the short I say? I. Remember, that was the very first letter we learned, wasn't it? I. All right. Pig. Pig. All right. Here's a rhyming word that goes with it. We're just going to change the P sound to B instead of P. We're going to make it B. B-ig. Big. Pig. Big. All right. Our next word is S-I-S. There's a lot of short I sounds, isn't it? Is. Sis. That's a short word for sister. You might say, hey sis, let's go to the park, or let's go ride bikes. Sis. All right. The next word is P-O-T. Pot. All right. Maybe they might be cooking in their story. I don't know. All right, let's go up here, number 6. C-U-P. Cup. Cup. All right, here's another short I sound. M says I, and there's X. We don't see X very often, do we? X. X. Mix. All right. S-I-P. We had S-I down here. Si. All right, we're going to do the same thing here. Sip. Sip. All right, here's the letter Y. Now in this word, it's going to say the regular Y sound. Ya. And then U says All right. Ya. Yum. Very good. Did you have something yummy for Easter? Did your mom have a good yummy Easter dinner for you? Or grandma or daddy? I don't know who did the cooking at your house. All right, yum. All right, and the last one, R-O-R-A, raw, and then C-K. Remember, when C-K's together, both those sounds make the K sound. But when they're together, it just says the sound one time. Rock, rock. All right. And here's our sight words, or you might want to say A, because it's the letter A, or A, and the, T-H-E, the. All right, so let's say our words. Let's read them. Try and do them together. Ready? Here we go. Bess, pig, big, sis, pot, then back up here to 6, cup, mix, sip, yum, and rock. Very good. So tomorrow, when we have our time together, if you want to get out your book of Tess and Bess, we'll do our phonics time. We'll be learning some another letter combination, and then we'll get out our book and we'll start to read our book. We may do maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 pages. We'll see how far we get, but we want to try and read 1 book a week, so that way we can make it and get all of our books read this year. So, boys and girls, I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope that you'll keep thinking of some PR words and sharing them with your family. Maybe y'all can think about some more and make it a game. Or maybe make somebody shout out CH, and you have to think of a CH word or an SH word or a TH word, and you can just play a game, make something up, pretend to have a good, pretend that you're at school and that you're learning some more if you want to. So I will see you tomorrow. Remember that Jesus loves you, and so do I. And I will see you tomorrow, and we'll learn some more.